Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. Canada is crashing. Uh, Money is going out of our economy and we have huge problems with our economy. Guys, I just want to show you right now. Look at this beautiful place. I'm here in Calgary, Alberta at the Fishkill Provincial Park, and I want to say, look at this beautiful country that we have right now. Even a beautiful, nice Alberta parks. Look at these toilets. They even put toilets in the park. Isn't it freaking amazing? I mean, Canada is such a beautiful country, and I want it to be like that. I want everything to be new, all the infrastructure, people having jobs, and being successful, sovereign, independent, you know, and wealthy nation. But we have some problems, guys, and I'll cover those problems in this video. And it's a big problem from what I'm seeing, is especially with the current Liberal government that we have. Just today, I was driving by in Calgary. We're at a job where I used to work. I used to work in a company called Superior Propane, just across the road from Imperial Oil in Corey Park. And Imperial Oil is cutting 900 jobs. They're getting out of the Corey Park. I used to always drive by that building, look at it, and I was thinking, you know what, maybe I should apply for a job there. I mean, it's a great company. You know, I would love to work in Imperial Oil. And 900 jobs, 20% of their operations in Canada, they are going to Houston, Texas. They're leaving Canada. Daniela Smith pointed out that it could be, holding Ottawa accountable for it, and I don't blame her. I kind of agree with her on that as well. It's pretty bad. Now, I forgot the name of that organization, but it's a government-related organization here in Canada, and they have looked into the investment outflow from Canada, and right now we have a big problem. So the money is investment capital is leaving Canada, and it's going basically to the United States because of all the tariffs, because of the trade limitations that we have, because we don't. Guys, I want to tell you something. In my opinion, before my opinion, they're also saying that if we are not going to cut down our budget deficit spending, we are going to be in a huge trouble. I want to tell you one thing, guys. I think that current Liberal government and Mark Carney are the best thing that could have happened for the United States, not really for Canada. Honestly, guys, I've watched the video where Pierre Poilievre was talking about Canada's Sovereignty Act to open up trades and build pipelines and, put our resources to not only to south, but to basically east and west of Canada, and put all the interprovincial trade. But I gotta tell you guys one thing about this entire thing is you have to also see what is going on our external politics as well, or on top of it. Let's look at it this way. We are still selling our energy to the United States. We are still dependent on the United States. We still haven't reduced the trade limitation within Canada, between provinces. Still, our biggest trading partner is the United States. We got no deal with the United States. I would argue that whatever was promised to us on the last election was a failure, in my opinion. You might disagree with me, might be a big success, but not for Canada, for the United States. Because now, you look at it this way. Yesterday, Donald Trump was bringing all the generals. It's like this: generals gathered in their masses, just like witches on black masses. You remember this song, yeah? You remember Black Sabbath? Do you remember death, destruction, sorcerer of death, construction, or something like that? Anyways, good song. But basically, that's what happened. And he said that we are building the Golden Dome, which is going to be about $271,000 billion. This is the billion dollar project, US dollars, 271, and Canada wants to be a part of it. And it's going to cost Canada between $60 to $73 billion US, which is probably going to be way more expensive in Canadian dollars, probably over $100 billion. And with our deficit and everything, I don't know how we can afford it. I have a suggestion. We can just print some money. You know what this guy's money printing is? I'll tell you basically. It is basically, look, I have $100 in my pocket, and each of us has $100. Let's say in a pocket. Altogether is $1,000, right? But for example, the government needs $100. They can print $100. Now, we technically have still $100 each of us in a pocket, but now literally it's worth $90. Am I correct? Yeah, something like that. Should be correct. Yeah, it's worth $90. If the government of Canada was to print $500, all of the money in our pocket would still be $100, but really you can only buy $50 worth of the money that you have. So that's a way of taking your money without actually getting you taxed. It's a huge Ponzi scheme that you probably didn't even think of. I just put it simple English. But anyways, here's the solution. The most worst part about what I'm talking about right now is that liberal government can actually be the best thing for the US because we are still military dependent on the United States, economically dependent. We don't have a deal. The money is leaving Canada. It's almost literally looking like, not too long ago, I put a quote. I went to ChatGPT and I said, hey, I'm Donald Trump. And if I am him, I want to take over Canada. Give me a step-by-step guide, what I should be doing in order for me to do that, to put Canada as a 51st state. Well, the number one thing was tariffs. And I looked at it at the list, and I think Trump probably did the same thing. He probably used the same prompt in ChatGPT. He's like, you know what? I'm genius. I'm going to go into an AI, and I'm going to conquer the world and see what it tells. And it gave him a list, and he's following that list. So outflow of capital investments from Canada going to the United States. No restrictions on trade. We don't have any more deals. We don't have any more partnerships with any other countries. I think some animal was running there in the bush. And energy dependence and military dependence on the United States. You know, in Ukraine, we had this guy selected before the war started with Russia. His name was Yanukovych. I'm going to share you some historical thing that many Ukrainians are seeing right now, and bringing this up. But you know, they don't want to bring it to Canada because Canadians wouldn't understand that. But I'll tell you, there was a Yanukovych guy. He was the president. Nobody knows how he won, but he was given buckwheat to senior people to vote for him, to fake elections. People got pissed off as soon as he said that Ukraine is not going to be moving to European Union. So he fled the country. As soon as he fled the country to Russia, that's the president they were going to bring actually back to Ukraine after they would conquer Ukraine in years back when they started the war, but they failed and they'll still fail. But no, what you have to understand is it was a puppet regime of Putin. So he actually wanted Ukraine to move towards Russia, and he was basically a puppet regime. So the idea was that he's going to make Ukraine closer to Russia, and eventually to unite Ukraine with Russia, or at least to keep it under the influence, political influence, economical, and so on. Then, when that happened, Crimea got annexed when the regime was changed, and the war has started in 2014. Before the entire all-out invasion has happened. Now, if you look at the entire situation, what is going on in Canada right now, you know, it's a kind of similar situation, because before the actual war has happened, we had a tariff war in Ukraine with Russia, and very similar situation that was going on between Ukraine and Canada and the United States. So if you were to translate that positioning into Canada, there is a big possibility that Mark Carney, but I'm speculating on that. I hope I'm absolutely wrong on that matter. Oh, I hope I'm wrong, and I want to be wrong on that. Okay, and and I'm wrong on that. I hope I'm wrong, and I want to be wrong, and like I should be wrong on that, because that would be a terrible thing if that's true. Like, it would be disastrous. But so far, we are so dependent on the United States that it puts us into a position of, should we join the United States? We are coming to a position where we are at a point where it doesn't make sense not to join the United States as a 51st state. It's going to hurt us so bad economically if we don't change anything, if we don't put those changes. Businesses live in Canada, the economical strain, hardships, unemployment, economical things, and defense and everything. And if we don't change anything, it just can come at a certain point to a lot of Canadians, which it already did to many people, but it's going to eventually settle in such a way that the only and a final logical step is to join the United States. I mean, look at it this way. If you do, you get your tariffs go away, capital investments go in, you get more jobs, you're still living in Canada, you can still call it Canada and everything, but you get protected by the United States. You have less expenses, more jobs, and nothing bad about it, right? And that's what they want you to believe. That doesn't mean it's right. It's just that that's what the goal is, in order to go after sovereign Canada and make it part of another country. So I would say, guys, if we want to protect Canada, if you want to have Canada a sovereign nation and independent from the United States, I just call you to wake up and do something about it. And also be careful. Big governments like the United States might have huge influence on Canadian local politicians to keep it in such a way where it would, for us, the population of Canada, would be the only logical way out is to give up the sovereignty. So just be careful, guys. I've seen it in Ukraine, and you know what's going on in Ukraine now. Be, guys, careful. A lot of people from Ukraine are, we have chats, and they're like, Igor, don't forget, Canada is like Ukraine, US is like Russia, and we don't want to have any kind of wars. We came here for peace and safety. Just, guys, a small note. I want to see your opinion on that. And yeah, I'll keep you at that. I want to read your comments. What do you think? Is it going to happen? What should we do right now? Because that's pretty bad. We are seeing companies leaving. We are seeing budget deficit. We are seeing that we are defenseless, that we need defense. And we are not doing anything about it. I mean, Ottawa is not doing anything about it. So Ottawa, please do something about it before we are going to be in a position where, maybe that's the reason they're not doing anything about it. But I hope I'm absolutely wrong. Guys, I want to be wrong. Thank you. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.